if you're thinking about buying the Miyabi Birchwood 8-inch chef's knife, because it looks like a culinary masterpiece and promises razor-sharp precision, hold on, because I'm about to reveal some surprising truths that might make you reconsider. But here's what surprised me. Despite its stunning design and Japanese craftsmanship, this knife is far from perfect. In fact, it has some little-known quirks and issues that every serious cook needs to know about before dropping $365 on it. Stick around because by the end of this review, you'll know exactly if this knife is worth slicing into your kitchen budget, or if it's better left on the shelf. First, let's talk about who this knife is really for. The Miyabi Birchwood is marketed to gourmet cooks, knife collectors, and kitchen enthusiasts who crave top-tier Japanese steel paired with an eye-catching handle made from rare Karelian birch. If you want a knife that combines tradition, high-tech materials, and aesthetics, this might sound like a dream come true. But if you're a casual cook or on a tight budget, you might want to rethink. This knife demands investment, care, and respect, sort of like that one friend who always costs a little extra at dinner but leaves you satisfied. Now, the heart of this blade is the G2 micro-carbide powder steel. Miyabi claims this steel keeps its sharpness long after repeated use, thanks to their exclusive cryodur ice hardening process. This means your knife edge should stay like a samurai's katana, razor thin and deadly precise. It's also layered 100 times with Damascus steel, creating that iconic swirling flower pattern that makes this knife a piece of art. So far, so good. On paper, this blade sounds like a chef's sharp dream come true. But here's where reality bites. The first problem users report, surprisingly enough, is related to the blade's thinness and hardness. The knife's edge is honed incredibly fine at a 9.5 to 12-degree angle, allowing extreme precision cuts, but it makes the blade somewhat fragile for everyday use. I mean, this thing slices like a hot knife through butter, or like a sushi chef filleting the freshest catch. But if you're chopping thick veggies, bones, or anything sturdy, you risk chipping the edge. So instead of an all-purpose workhorse, it's more like a high-maintenance Devo who demands delicate handling. Not ideal if you want a tough companion for your everyday kitchen beatdown. But it gets trickier. The handle, crafted from Karelian birch, famously used in Fabergé eggs, is an absolute stunner and a talking point at dinner parties. It's ergonomic, feeling like a natural extension of your hand, and it breathes that elegant Japanese tradition. However, wood handles, especially something as precious as this, require regular upkeep. They can crack, swell, or suffer water damage if you're not super diligent about drying and oiling. You might love the look, but preparing it for daily heavy-duty use means extra care time you might not want to spend. For many, a synthetic handle might be a better low-maintenance choice. Here's a quick joke to lighten things. Why do knives never get angry? Because they always stay sharp. But seriously, this knife's performance can't be judged by looks alone. Let's talk edge retention. Miyabi's Hanbazuke sharpening process involves a three-step hand honing to ensure that the knife starts with a bone-chillingly sharp edge. I tested several Miyabi owners who swear their knives slice tomatoes like paper even after months of use. That's impressive. But here's the catch. Once that edge dulls, sharpening it at home is complicated. The ultra-thin steel profile means you must be extra careful, or you risk ruining that fine angle entirely. Either you learn professional sharpening or pay for expert services. So if you aren't ready to maintain it properly, you might find yourself frustrated sooner than expected. Ready for another twist? While the 5.39-inch handle length seems roomy and comfortable for most hands, some users with larger hands found the grip a bit too small for prolonged chopping sessions. Fatigue and cramping crept in during extended meals prep, which defeats the purpose of ergonomic design. So, unless you've got average-sized hands, test it in person before committing, or prepare for a slight learning curve. Another downside I noticed. Despite its 8-inch blade length, which many find ideal for versatile kitchen tasks, This knife isn't the best for heavy-duty jobs. Forget hacking through thick squash or crushing garlic with the side of the blade. This knife is a precision instrument, built for delicate slicing, dicing, and carving. If you want one knife that can do everything, this isn't it. Think of it like a luxury sports car. It handles curves beautifully, but won't haul your moving boxes. Now, let's talk value, because $364.95 is not pocket change, even for seasoned chefs. Is the Miyabi Birchwood worth its steep price? For collectors and pros who crave authentic Japanese craftsmanship, rare material handles, and a visually stunning Damascus-patterned blade, absolutely yes. It's a knife that doubles as an heirloom and starter conversation piece. But for the home cook who wants a reliable, durable, and low-maintenance knife, that price jumps into maybe territory. That said, here's a positive spin. If you do decide to invest, you're getting a kitchen tool that performs beautifully in the right hands and with the right care. Miyabi has combined cutting-edge metallurgy with design elegance, creating a knife that's as much about pride of ownership as performance. And remember, nothing compares to gliding through a ripe avocado or sashimi slice with a blade this sharp. One more joke, because why not? What do you call a knife that sings? A sharp tenor. You'll definitely want to hear this knife's slice of perfection in action. Want to hear what real users have to say? On Amazon, this knife holds an impressive 4.8-star rating. Users rave about the silky sharp edge, the beautiful finish, and the feeling of holding a finely crafted tool. But even with glowing reviews, the occasional note about careful maintenance, fragility, and hand size issues keep popping up. So while it's a gem, it's not the diamond in the rough for everyone. Before wrapping up, here's a quick story. A friend of mine, a professional sushi chef, owns this very knife. He told me that the Miyabi Birchwood feels like an extension of his own hand, a trusted partner in crafting precision cuts that delight diners. But he also confessed that if pushed for a quick, heavy-duty chop or dropped in the sink, there'd be trouble. Treating it like a sacred object has kept it performing at peak, but casual kitchen warriors might find it a bit high maintenance. I love that honesty. Now, let's tie it all together. The Miyabi Birchwood 8-inch chef's knife is a stunning piece of Japanese artistry, blending G2 micro-carbide powder steel, 100 layers of Damascus steel, and an elegant Karelian birch handle. It promises sharpness, durability, and ergonomic comfort, but only if you treat it with the care it deserves. Are you a professional or enthusiast ready to lavish a premium tool with tender, loving care? Then this knife will reward you with precision and beauty unlike most others. But if you're someone who wants a fuss-free, all-purpose, grab-and-go kitchen knife, this might not be your best bet. Still interested? You can find the Miyabi Birchwood knife on Amazon. I've linked the best price in the description below so you don't have to search. Dive in knowing what you're getting: luxury, craftsmanship, and sharpness that will elevate your cooking experience, but also a knife that requires respect. If you're ready to slice with precision and own a kitchen conversation starter, check out the link and grab yours today. And remember, a sharp knife doesn't just cut food, it cuts cooking time and elevates your skills. Happy cooking!